Right, we've had another exciting delivery. The new stereo. If anyone had said to me, one day you'll spend $900,000 on a car radio and not get any speakers with it, I would have just laughed at them. Anyway, this is retro radio. That actually didn't cost $1,000. It cost near $1,000 because it was $928, whatever. Because I bought the amplifier with it. So what's really cool about this, and I'm liking the quality of everything, this is the amplifier here with all the looming I should need, apparently. So it's got to work out where we're going to fit that. But nice compact amplifier built to go with this thing. This is a hands-free Bluetooth, MP3, you name it, all in one, and they themselves are a 25 watt RMS output. And the really cool thing is, once you take the buttons off, everything just looks absolutely factory original, right down to the little Ford badge. So we'll just take them off there, off with the fascia, which I know I'm going to take the nuts off. Bugger, I haven't prepped this really well, but anyway, look, long and short of it, I've married it up. Not only is the texture right, but the size is right. And that's what I was saying some time ago about this fascia, which I got off that mate's wreck in Victoria. Still in one piece. And even though there's been a bit of a cut out there, it will not matter. It will not matter at all. Because you've got the mounting bracket down there. That'll sit flat into that. I've got a clock in very good condition. This will just look Mickey Mouse. Yet we'll have all of the features of a new car audio system. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, I reckon. Again, I bought this car. Didn't buy the car. I'm building the car so we can get into the thing and drive across the country. And we want all those sort of mod cons, like cruise control the car has, air conditioning, power everything, and hands-free Bluetooth. Why the hell not? You're going to go the hog, go the whole hog. So very exciting stuff. I do like the look and the quality of that. It's quite heavy. I don't know what the output is. Not really sure. I think it was 50 watt a channel. I have to look at it, but it's going to do the trick. Oh, there you go. It's 4x45 RMS it was. So really exciting stuff. The console's starting to come along. I don't know how many repairs I've done now, but just when you grab the whole thing, it's now getting some rigidity back to it. The thing was floppy. It had that many cracks in it. So I'll get to the point where I'll start sanding. But it's in the guts of the winter. I mean, I think it was -4 this morning. It's absolutely freezing. So the glue's just taking so much longer to dry. I did this last weekend. So anyway, we're going to get very, very close to getting to the point where I'll sand this back down and this will be done. For example, by the floppiness, that's a repair I did 20 odd years ago actually. Super Aerolite still hung on, but it cracked all the way through there. It was smashed through there, and I've had to build up sections of the thing as I've described before. But it's coming along. Place is a freaking mess because I've got that much going on, but no excuse, I need to clean up. Unfortunately, we've had a little setback. As described, the air conditioning system works perfect. My seals worked well. The new seals are manufactured to go on either side of that flap. The new tubing's all really good. Hooked it up the old Fairlane yesterday. Works 100%, you beauty. Unfortunately, I've come in here just to clean up. Prior to installing the aircon, I thought I'll just paint the firewall, but I did notice a little bit of corrosion developing, and unfortunately I've cleaned it all up now, but it was this seam here, and again it just comes back to the way they made the cars back in the day. You can see the amount of excess sealant they put on there. That's doing absolutely nothing. It's completely and utterly pointless. But where I scraped the back, and from about that point there going forward, it was all rusted right in that seam. So I've buried the living crap out of it with rust converter sealer primer, and I'm still tossing up whether I'm just going to hit that with knockout rust or kill rust. And you can see the other side of the sill and the layers of metal in this A-pillar area. And you've got, you know, 1, 2, 3. I think there might have been a section I welded in years ago now. And I noticed that even though I'd put rust treatment in there, rust primer, it's still coming out. So I hit that again yesterday with a converter. I didn't have that back in the day when I started doing this work. It's that long ago. I started 7 years. It's only been the last 2 years we've got some momentum on it, which indicates just what sort of time it takes. If you really want to do it, you know, all the way to say every component is done properly. So what I'll do, I'll go through the driver side today. I think I've made my mind up. So I'm saying this, I'm just going to hit it with knockout rust. I was going to paint it with kill rust, but I've changed my mind. I want something that'll penetrate and really stop the rust. Up into the airbox vent, really nothing to see up there as from the top side, but yeah, that was a bit disconcerting. But I pulled some goop out, and the indicator was that it looked cracked like that, so you can see where it's sort of coming off the car a little bit. And I just pulled some of that out and went, oh, you bugger. And that was just all full of goop for no reason. So I'll hit it with knockout rust. Next weekend, I'll hit it with a Sikaflex, which it's got to have because it's got to be water sealed. But I'll do a lot better job than that rubbish that we got from factory. And that's just junk, seriously. It's just gooping nothing for no reason. And I might as well do this area down here while I'm at it. So anyway, that's a little bit of a setback. I would have had the aircon in today, but there's no point doing it unless it's right. So we'll get on and treat that. Oh, bugger me. But what I will do is fit these vents in today. I've been meaning to do it, and before I even start that, I'm going to soak the seal with lanolin, so there's something that's a rust treatment where that's going to touch the metal, and obviously that holds liquid. And I was just dead lucky that this car, when you think about it, you know, that seal sits up against where my little finger is, and that would have been soaked in water for over the years. Every time it rained, they would just be sitting, and you can see why they rusted in these areas. So I have sprayed that with knockout rust, and all the dust from the panel beading's got over that, no big deal. But I'll hit them, and I actually soak them in lanolin, which will repel water and provide a further rust preventative measure to that area. So we'll get that done. Might finish off the rebuild of this indicator assembly. It's got a little chip in it there. Bloody hell. So I'm pretty sure I've got one of these lenses. I don't know if that's happening in storage in the shed or don't know, but we'll do that. And I'll probably build up the rear bumper bar and give myself a reward of visual progress while we wait for knockout rust and other things to dry before we can move on to what I really want to do is get the interior done and start the wiring process, which will include the stereo. That's my strategy for doing all this, is I'm going to build it up from the inside out. One of the last things to go in will be the engine, in fact, because once that's in, it's going to be a bugger to work around. So anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, we're starting to get some visual progress, a bit of bling. The bumper bars were re-chromed, straightened, come up beautiful. Got the tail lights in. Unfortunately, got a bird thread on this one, on one of the lower studs, and it cracked. I'm just going to leave it there. The seal pressed in well. I can't really show you because I can't really see it with the bonnet down, but I just thought, yeah, I need to give myself some visual progress. And on that same sort of vein, I'm trying to get the front of the car going. I want to install this after I install the matting that's in here that I've had for a couple of years now. I've finally got a chance to use it, but I'm still waiting for the knockout rust to dry on the firewall on the inside. But what we did do is fit this up, and I'm not overly happy. So I don't know if this is going to stay, to be honest with you. This is from Aussie Desert Coolers. It didn't come with any mounts, so I rang them up and they sent me these XA bottom mount. Okay, well, it's not an XA, and I've got two of them, and we still don't see how it's going to work on this 5-core radiator. And when I bought this thing, I said I just want to bolt in, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is bolt in. Well, from here to here, from the back of the engine mount point to the thermo, it's about 450. From the back face of the engine mount on the engine to the front of the pulley, that's the aircon pulley, the front one, it's 470. That's 20 mil. The water pump is 15 mil proud of the pulley. That means 5 mil. 5 mil is not a lot. So Houston, we probably have a problem here. Additionally, the condenser, which is sitting over there, I'm going to go and pressure blast that today. Not a good day to be doing it. It is about 120 mil rain in the last 48 hours, and it's the middle of winter. so the creek down the back's flood for the first time in 4 years. Now, we've already had my mate over yesterday, and we fitted up the condenser, and it fits into these studs here. Now, it's not a bother on the right hand side of the car, because the radiator, this new one, doesn't interfere, so it's shy of it. So you can see there's a hole and a hole. But here, well, we're going to have to maintain 5 mil back. Now, I still don't get what they were talking about trying to use those bits of channel there. That's all it is freaking aluminium channel. I don't see what that's going to do for me. The initial one, or the original 3-core, 2-core, whatever was in these things, had quite a gap, and you had a rubber seal. I remember doing a bit of film about that, about the rubber seal for the radiator, and I've kept that. But obviously it's not going to be usable in this application. What I've ended up doing at this point is modifying the original brackets, which will look better anyway. Just cutting some bits out of them. So I took the forward lip out of that one. I've left the bottom lip out on the two top, so they'll hold it in position. Done the same sort of thing at the bottom. The channels are still in place, so we can put some rubber in there, and I've just mocked something up here at the moment, just so we don't damage the radiator. And I need this just to be enough to fit the nut off the stud off the condenser. So we've done them up, not real tight, and made them flat. So the height we're dealing with is exactly 5 mil, the height of the nut. On this side we can go flush, but I won't, because I don't want to skew if. So what I'll do is go and get some compressed rubber foam, something that's, or rubber, 5 mil rubber or 6 mil. We'll go for 6 mil, beg your pardon. And that will then hold good insulation down this seam between radiator and engine frame, or engine bay frame, whatever you want to call it. And I'll do the same the other side. And we will install this after we've got the engine in. So I'm just going to leave this now. It is what it is. I had a look at some old footage for when I took the motor out, and had a look at the radiator assembly I had. It might be a matter of modifying the thermofan assembly on the Aussie Desert Cooler, and maybe now that I've given it away, retrofitting the ones off the AU straight into here. There's an AU I prepared earlier. Not a bad idea. I'm probably going to be kicking myself now. I'm going to have to go to a Wreckers and find another set of AU thermofans, because I know they fit, I know they work. It's just doing my head in. I'm talking out loud while I film here. Excuse me. And you can see what I'm getting at. It's a lot slimmer, and I got it to sit on the other one just straight over the radiator. So if I run out of room, I'll be under a wrecker and going and buying what I've already thrown or given away to a young fella that's building an old XB. So I had a 3-core and a set of thermos fitted on it. Maybe not actually. Maybe it's about the same depth. Alright, so that's the condenser. Went to a bit of effort just to straighten a few of the fins up, just using a screwdriver. It'd be nice to have a comb, but at the end of the day, you don't see the thing, so she'll do. Time to do the job that I've been procrastinating about since I started this job, and that is, back's not getting any better. This crap. Oh, I hate this crap. Once and for all, I'm just going to get rid of what's left. I have found probably the most effective in my arsenal of tools is just a fairly softish wire brush. One of those cheapy ones you see at the cheapy shops. Seems to be pretty effective. I had a quick go there using just a battery drill, and you can see that area cleaned up pretty quick. So hopefully this will be as painless as possible. Respirator job. I don't know about you, but this stuff, this oil fibre insulation shit just does my head in. Now, there's also a couple of problems. Oh, God. Let's start practicing sit-ups. I've been spraying rust converter all in here, anywhere under these frames, because it's all spot rusted. So that was one area. I'll probably have to hit that again. You can see a little bit there, but there was spot rust growing all through. So I've hit it pretty hard with rust converter. You probably still see there's a little bit in there. I'm going to go over that with a fine tooth comb. Oh, God. And just make sure. So if you got one of these old cars, I'd almost bet that it's a little hidey hole up into these little, where my fingers are. So I've filled it up with that converter sealer because it was really orange spotting. I'm glad to see now that actually the job I did the other day worked out better than I thought, but I don't want to throw caution to the wind. I'll give it another hit. I can see in behind here, a little air gap. I can see there's still some spots of rust in there. Now it's only surface, but you know, you just don't want to leave it there. Now another problem I didn't mention here, and there's not a lot I can do about it. This little bugger. Now this is in behind the plenum, and it's right adjacent to the windscreen. There's nothing I can do. There's no rust in the plenum, as I've filmed, dug around before. I've been just burying this thing with knockout rust, and the reason it's still wet, unfortunately, that's the only problem with that knockout rust, is that it takes a long time to dry in a frickin' cold climate. And it snows here, so it's a frickin' cold climate. So all I can do, I've converted it, and there's another little pinhole here, and that's the price I'm paying for not having the dash completely removed prior to going to paint. So if I was doing this again, I've just reorganised the shed so that I had real estate to get rid of, take the whole dash unit out and present the car like this for paint. And any panel better go, yeah, well, that'd be the smart thing to do, moron. But anyway, I didn't have the luxury at the time, and I thought we were okay because I had a look in the plenum, but you can't really see, you know, where I'm trying to get to from outside. It's just digging around, I found it. So look, I've just converted it, same with that microscopic pinhole there, and I'll fill that up with knockout rust, and then I'll probably just use this Sikaflex, to be honest with you, because I'm not trying to make it look pretty, because you'll never see this. It's just hidden away. It's just one of those little petitions in the car you'll never get to. So I'll just put Sikaflex because it's really a moisture trap, or moisture you're trying to prevent. That's all you're trying to do, is just stop moisture from getting in the car. We've sealed it. We'll put the knockout rust on it, which means you can get as wet as it wants. It won't continue rusting, and we'll seal the car from getting any fluid in it. I'm happy with the membrane I've got out of the Sikaflex, by the way. At the end of the day, that's all you're seeking to get, is a nice sealed membrane, as opposed to this rubbish hangover from 40 years ago. Jeez. Anyway, so I just thought I'd point that out. If I was doing it again, dash out before I went away for paint. Even if you think you've got a good one like I thought, clearly I'm not. And this is where the air conditioner mounts, of course, and the evaporator box, and this is the recirc actuator or air box here. So it probably makes sense that it's going to get more moisture on this side, let alone the fact it's on the left hand side of the car, which does tend to get more moisture because you tend to go through more puddles and blah blah blah. So yeah, anyway, just waiting for that to dry so I can move on. But anyway, enough procrastination, I've got to get this done. So I'll mask up and knock that on the head. Right, it's probably still a bit fumy in here. I shouldn't be without a respirator, but it's been airing for a bit. So all I did, wire brushed it off, I wiped it down Prepsol, and I've just got in here with kill rust. Just anywhere where the wire brush exposed the metal. As I've got to do some more yet. I'll probably use knockout rust on this stuff. But on the roof, I just hit it with kill rust. You would not do this job without having a respirator on. As far as really a shit of a job goes, this is a shit of a job. I got absolutely covered in that fiberglass crap. So I'm about to go and get all my clothes and chuck them into the washing machine. I've already vacuumed the car out, but you can just see the level of the crap. It just gets everywhere. So I'll just give it a quick clean, give it a quick hit with the kill rust, because we've got, especially on the roof there, any exposed metal I wanted sealed. So we've done that. We'll get out of here. I mentioned like 10 itchy things. You can just see out here even. Just tell you. But anyway, as far as jobs go that I don't want to do again, that's up there. So it's done now, and hopefully we can get on with getting this repaired, getting the matting down, and start doing the wiring, which is now all piled up over there. Anyway, enough. Right, I can't remember where I filmed last time. It was a week ago. So sound deadener in under where the airbox is going to go. Just got a little trim up of those 3 holes before I put the box in. This stuff never used it in my life. Really easy to use, I've got to say, and I'm surprised that it managed to adhere to this area particularly, because there's a whole lot of knockout rust. You can see it there, but it's sticking to it. So it's still not dry. It's cold. It's the end of winter. We've got a late winter this year, but she's here, and it's pretty awful. No, it's not. It's raining its arse off. It's great, actually. I think so far in 8 days we've had 160 plus mil, which is great for regional New South Wales. So this is the airbox ready to go back in. Just decided to glue this down so it just holds in position better when I install it. So in a minute, without any further ado, hopefully, we can install this and get it out of the shed, and then start looking at the dash in a couple of days. Don't know if I filmed that. Put the bumper bars on. It come up well. This one was really bent. This is the corner that I hit the shed with. So I don't even know who did it. I just gave it to my panel beater and he sent it somewhere. I just paid the bill. I really don't know, but it all lined up well. Just had to adjust the 2 chassis bolts there on both sides just to manipulate it where we wanted it. So that's good. So both bumper bars are on now. So I got my ute back. and it come up well. It come up really straight. So that's that. Let's get this aircon box in. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. What about you guys? Any further suggestions, additions? No? Alright. Alright, you're going to have to excuse the furnace in the background because it's bloody cold. It snowed yesterday. So, we've had some good movement again. So I don't know if you can see this really well, but the fresh air recirc box back in. The seal worked out really well for that. Same with this one here, the manual one. That's the automatic one with the integrated aircon system. It's back in, obviously. So the goodness me, excuse me. So I had to pull all this back off because the body seal, this stuff here, which I done on the A-pillar there to seal that up, failed epically. I mustn't have shaken the can on the knockout rust, and it just wouldn't dry up. So obviously it's pretty important to shake the can up. Did it again, waited a couple of days, and it was dry enough to tack stuff to. The goop worked well, and of course we're getting this body matting down. This body matting is really easy to work with, happy with that. I don't know if you can see right in there, but it's all behind the aircon, right up the firewall. So it's going to be a whole lot better than what I was out of factory. What else have I been doing? So bought a heap of this stuff, foam rubber seal, infinitely better than the crap that came out with the car. This one here particularly is a really loose fit, so I've gone ahead, surrounded the whole thing with the foam rubber seal. Ditto up there for the demister seats where they sit into where they go. Look, these things don't sit really well, but they're going to sit that's as good as they're going to go, to be honest with you. I think I might be able to manipulate that one better onto its little clips. It's they're not the best made thing. They're actually stapled together. They're halves stapled together, believe it or not, the way they used to do things. In fact, there's a staple right there. You can see that, so that's the way they're made. The pneumatic tubing, make sure that's routed the right way because this actuator operates, so you don't want that to get chewed up with that. Oh God, not good for one's back. This duck's just sitting here, so these smaller ones, they're a nice tight fit, so I'm going to install them now, and that's it. So the ducting is back in a minute as soon as I put the other one on. That's that. So then we'll come over and start playing with all this bit of kit. So you can see the amount of repairs I've carried out to the console. I've spoken about that before. So it's time to start sanding it back and seeing how the shapings come up. So things like that whole bracket there or corner, I've had to manufacture that. So that was just a matter of bit of tape, fill it in, take the tape off, do it again, and effectively we've remade it. So get rid of the old dog and bone. These are a couple of brackets that go inside the actual dash assembly. Pull that out, Blue. And you can just see again, so I'll have to sand this down and this area will have to be painted black. But I can tell you now, this has got some rigidity to it. So like holding that, let me tell you, this thing felt like it was going to snap when I first took it out of the steel frame. So hopefully, I don't know if we'll get it done tomorrow. There's a main steel frame and it's got the other 4 brackets I think that go with it. 4, can't remember now. There's these 2, this one, 5. There we go. Heap of steel in here, and that's what these little anchor nuts are for. So progressing well. I'll get into it now. Get some of the sanding done, and have a look at how good the shape is, because at the end of the day you can't see any of this. Actually it all gets covered up anyway. So, but I felt it was important that we bring it back up to, you know, some good strength, and just so that it's going to last a lifetime, or what's left of my lifetime. So we will proceed with Ernest now. So I'm pretty happy now that things are starting to come off the bench, get into the car. What else do we do? The bonnet latch, that was another thing, and that's just this whole structure of getting things done. So I put this in place with its new grommet. I don't know if I filmed this before. I can't remember what the hell I've done, because I go away for work and come back and blah blah blah. But that's a whole lot more professional than the one that was in there. It was just a piece of foam. I don't know if that was original or not. I never took the thing out of the car in my lifetime. And I bought more of that foam rubber, so hopefully we'll get the radiator bracket sorted, and could look alright having the factory brackets modified to suit this giant radiator. So fairly happy, some forward progress. The next thing is these power window motors as well. Before I go fitting them in, I bought myself an amp meter, because the book's pretty adamant that when they're running free, those motors shouldn't pull more than 5 amp. Now, I've built them before, years ago, so I'll test them. Anything that's got over 5 amps, we'll rip it back apart and see what's wrong inside. In the meantime, we'll get on with this.